The military checkpoint was busy, filled with young recruits in crisp uniforms. Orders were being barked. Radios buzzed, the usual chaos of a secure base, and then she appeared. A quiet woman, in civilian clothes, no uniform, no rank, just a duffel, bag, faded jeans, and boots that looked older than half the recruits in the room. The guards barely looked up. Double quotes, "Hey, we got a lost civilian. She here to drop off cookies or what?" Laughter. She didn't flinch, didn't smile, didn't speak. She simply stepped forward and reached into her jacketslow.com. Instantly, hands went to rifles. The tension shot up, but all she pulled out was a faded badge. A military access card, level 4 clearance. Retired, the youngest guard frowned and took it. Level 4. "Ma'am, this is old. This hasn't been scanned in decades." She gave him a look steady, like she was waiting for him to catch up. Lieutenant Martinez, a fresh officer with a sharp tongue, stepped in. "What's going on here?" "Sir," the guard said. She presented a level 4 retired clearance. Martinez scoffed. "From when Vietnam?" More chuckles. Martinez folded his arms and faced her directly. "You've got 5 seconds to explain why you're here before I have you escorted out. This is a classified base, ma'am, not a tour site." Still silent, she took off her glove. Her hand bore scars, burns, cuts, time-worn damage. Then she rolled up her sleeve, tattooed on her inner forearm a long string of numbers and symbols. Martinez squinted. "What is that? Some kind of prison code?" The youngest guard stared harder. His fingers flew across the keyboard, pulling up restricted databases. His face went pale. "Sir, this is from the Shadow Diver file." Martinez frowned. "What?" The screen lit up with a black and white dossier. The name? Alina Voss. Codename, Widow Mark. Status, Kia, killed in action. Mission, redacted. Entire file, redacted. Then an old photo appeared. It was her. That's when the main door swung open, the room froze. In walked Admiral Graves. Decorated stoic, feared. He took one look at the woman and stopped mid-step. Alina. She gave him a single nod. "Hello, Admiral." You could hear a pin drop. The Admiral's eyes darted to the sleeve, the tattoo, the scars, and the impossible truth staring back at him. "Alina Voss is dead." Someone whispered. "No," the Admiral said. "She just walked in." Everyone stood frozen. The Admiral didn't blink. The woman didn't flinch. The guards who were mocking her seconds ago now stood like statues. Admiral Graves slowly stepped forward. "Is it really you?" he asked again, his voice quieter. This time, she nodded. 17 years, she said. "I waited for a knock on the door, a call, anything, but no one came." Martinez broke the silence, his voice shaky now. "Sir, I don't understand." "Her file says Kia she was declared dead during Operation Red Ember." Graves clenched his jaw. That operation was sealed. Red Ember didn't just go sideways. It never existed on paper. He turned back to her. "You weren't supposed to make it out." She gave a sad smile. "None of us were. You left us there." A wave of guilt rippled through the Admiral's eyes. His mouth opened, but no words came out. The young guard, still staring at the screen, whispered, "Widow Mark." That name was passed around like a myth. Sniper, recon, survivalist. She was the last signal we got before the blackout. Graves looked down. She wasn't a myth. She was the best we had. Then Alina stepped forward. Her boots echoed on the cold concrete floor. The room split to let her through. "I didn't come back for medals," she said. "I didn't come back for apologies." She unzipped her bag slowly. Every hand in the room tightened around their weapon. She pulled out an old cracked radio. "This," she said, "was still transmitting until 3 months ago. From Sector 9, from the mountain base, you said was wiped out." Graves stepped closer, stunned. That base was confirmed destroyed. No life detected. She locked eyes with him. "You never looked deep enough." Silence. Then she placed the radio on the table and pressed play. Static. Then a voice. Weak, warped. "Widow Mark, this is Alpha 4. Still breathing. Water, low. 3 left." The room went cold. "That's Captain Ramirez," Graves whispered. "He was declared Kia in the same OP. No one ever found his body." Alina nodded slowly. "There are more. I wasn't the only one. I found them. I kept them alive. And now, I'm bringing them home. A long silence. No one laughed anymore. Even Martinez stood straight, his face pale. You mean there are soldiers still trapped out there? He asked. She turned to him, double quotes, yes, and I came back because I need one. Thing. Everyone leaned in. What? Graves asked. She stared at him. Authorization, a team, and a chopper. I'm going back in. The room was silent again. No one moved. No one spoke. Finally, Admiral Graves let out a long breath and turned to Martinez. Get command on the line. Martinez hesitated, still stunned. Sir, she's been off-grid for over a decade. She's... Not even now, Lieutenant Graves barked. We owe her that much. Martinez rushed out. Graves looked back at Alina. You realize what you're asking? It's been 17 years. That territory is blacklisted. We've lost drones in that zone. You want to walk back in? She nodded once. I already walked out alone. The radio crackled again. A faint cough. A desperate voice. ... If anyone hears this. This is Bravo 2. Injured, Widow Mark. Still alive, she said. She said she's coming back. Everyone's eyes widened. It wasn't a recording. It was live, fresh. Graves turned pale. That transmission? It's still active. Yes, she said. They move every 7 days. They've learned to hide from satellites, but their batteries are dying. Martinez returned. Sir, command denied it. They said she's unauthorized. Her status is still Kier. They won't fund a mission based on ghost signals. The room sank. Alina didn't blink. Typical. She picked up the radio, placed it carefully in her bag, and slung it over her shoulder. I knew they'd say that. Graves looked torn. Alina, she stared at him. You want to help? Don't stop me. Then she walked toward the exit. You said you needed a team. She paused, looked over her shoulder. I did. He stepped forward, a little shaky, but determined. Then I'm in. A long beat, another voice joined, then another. 3 soldiers, 4. Martinez hesitated, then walked forward to, Ma'am, I was wrong about you. I'm in. Graves watched it all unfold, the corners of his mouth twitching into something between pride and guilt. She's not a myth, he said quietly to himself. She's a fire we buried too early, and if you've never walked into a place that wants you dead, follow my lead. 400 hours. Fog rolled across the airfield like ghosts waking from sleep. Alina stood by the chopper, her face calm, her gear light, but her eyes, they carried 17 years of unfinished war. 6 soldiers followed her in silence. None of them knew exactly what to expect. All they knew was she had survived hell once, and now she was walking back into it. As the rotor spun, Martinez turned to her, shouting over the wind, Why didn't you just disappear? You were free. You got out. Alina didn't answer right away. She just looked out across the dark mountains. Ahead then, she said, Because I still hear their voices at night. Because when I eat warm food, I remember who's still eating snow. Because I was never meant to survive alone. I'm going back to finish what they left behind. The chopper lifted. And within hours, they were over black zone airspace. Dead. Skies. No signals. Radar dead. Then the radio crackled. Not a distress call. Not a voice. A single tone. One long beep, followed by 4 short ones. Martinez leaned forward. What is that? Alina didn't blink. It's the code we used when we were being hunted. It means don't land. Eyes watching. Pilot's hands tightened on the controls. Too late, the lift side exploded. Missile strike, the chopper spun. Flames, screams, chaos. They hit the ground. 2 were unconscious. 1 already gone. But she was moving. They crawled to the edge of a ravine. Alina nodded. They always were, but we're not done yet. She led them through the ravine, through the same paths she'd once used to survive. And then they saw it. A camouflaged tarp, barely visible, hidden under brush and snow. Alina stepped forward, whispered something in an old call sign. There was silence. Then the tarp shifted. Rifle peeked out. A figure crawled forward. Widow? The voice CROAK. It was Ramirez. His beard was long, his frame thin, but his eyes alive. Alina, I told them you'd come back. Behind him, 5 more soldiers appeared. 1 limping, 1 barely walking, but alive. Tears welled in her eyes. But she didn't let them fall. "I said I would," she whispered. Martinez stood frozen. "These are ghosts. They were dead. We buried them on paper." Ramirez grinned faintly. "Well, paper led." The reunion was brief. They didn't celebrate, they moved, because behind them, the fire was rising. But this time, Widow Mark wasn't alone. She wasn't buried by her past. She was leading survivors back into the world that forgot them.